Alana, we were just talking about what a great job you did on Monday.
Oh, that's so sweet. I felt so hectic. I was like,
Oh,
oh
I
no.
think you did so fantastic. You did really wonderful.
Um, I don't know. I mean, y'all probably don't realize this, but like 90% of my day job is watching other boards and commissions and whatever meet. And so I was just like, I'm just gonna channel my favorite ones.
That's awesome. Let's see.
Well, I'm excited to have you lead your first meeting.
Oh, well, thank you. There's Joaquin. Oh, and then there's Joaquin. Perfect. All right. Well, it is Wednesday, August 28th, and it is 6:01. Call this meeting to order. Welcome, everyone. We'll start with introductions. I'm Kira Presley. I go by she, her pronouns, or use she, her pronouns, Ward 5. And I will popcorn over to Robert.
Hello, everybody. My name is Robert Marshall. I live in Ward 2. I am a commissioner on the Human Rights Commission and a member of this committee, and I will pass it off to Kelsey.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kelsey Murray. I use she, her pronouns, and I am a commissioner on the Human Rights Commission and a member of this committee. And I'm going to popcorn to Joaquin.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Good. Good evening, everybody. I missed the 6 o'clock 21, so I'm going to be even later than I usually am for this meeting. I'm still on the 16, but my name is Joaquin, and I'm a member of the commission and a member of this committee. Thank you very much. Have a good night. And Ilana, go ahead.
Hi all, I'm Ilana Lynn. I use they, them pronouns. I am a member of the commission and a member of this committee. And I will pass it off to Hamadi.
Hi, I am Hamadi Jackson, Ward 5, Chair of Human Rights Commission, and I am a happy spectator. And I will pass it off to, I'm not sure who's left. Gretchen?
Thank you. Yep, Gretchen Bennett, she, her pronouns, and staff to the commission.
Awesome. Well, again, welcome everybody. We will move on to public comment. I don't see any members of the public here or on Zoom. Did we receive any public comment?
We did not.
Okay. So we will move on to approval of minutes. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
I will make a motion to approve the minutes with a correction that on number 7, it is changed to reflect that Gretchen had shared the HRC communication on this topic with the Mid-Willamette Valley Homeless Alliance.
Fantastic. Do we have a second?
I will second that.
Awesome. All those in favor say aye or thumbs up.
Aye.
I think Joaquin was a thumbs
Aye.
up. Okay. Any opposed? Seeing no opposition, passes unanimously. So we will move on to Transgender Day of Remembrance. I met with Kelsey and Gretchen a little bit about this, and we kind of broke it down into some more steps that we wanted answered, or I guess for the committee to reflect on. So local speaker ideas was the first one, and Kelsey, have you heard back at all from Andrea Salinas' office?
No, I emailed, so I emailed the person who called me last year, and then I emailed their like main website, and then I just emailed like 2 days ago, the person who sent me the letter from last year.
Okay.
So TBD.
Okay, no, that's great. That's great. I wasn't sure if maybe they had responded to you without keeping you in the loop, because you know that happens, right?
It does. No, unfortunately, no.
Okay. So we'll keep trying there. But we did want to look at potential speakers that are local and maybe more a part of the community. I don't know if anyone has any ideas or thoughts on that they would like to share.
Would y'all be open to reaching out to Salem Capital Pride to see if they have any suggestions for it? I just like do we all know what I'm talking about when I say Salem Capital Pride?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, cool. Just making sure. Because they, we all know who they are. And I think that that speaks volumes. So if we ask them for people who are available to do speaking opportunities, I think that that would be a great place to start. There's also an artist that I can't think of the name right now, but I'm gonna look on my phone real quickly and try to find it. And I will email that to y'all if I find it.
Okay.
But also, if we are interested in getting elected officials, happy to facilitate that. I don't know. I mentioned this earlier in my day job, but I am a lobbyist, so this is my thing.
I love that.
So, Kira, I have a question, if you would.
Absolutely, Joaquin.
When you're talking about reaching out to local leaders, does that mean not reaching out to Andrea's office?
No, we have reached out to her office already. We're just waiting for a response from her office.
So Kelsey, if you don't hear back by next week, I email. I'm in regular communication with Huntington's office, so I'm happy to reach out.
Yeah, Joaquin, actually, that would be great if you want to go ahead and do that. Because I emailed, my first email to them was, I don't know, like 3 weeks ago.
May I ask who you emailed?
Yes, I have emailed. That's not how you spell that. I emailed Brandon Jordan.
Yep,
And
that's her field person. Yep.
And then Fritz Graham.
Okay. Well, those are good people, so I'll reach out.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Joaquin. Okay. We can move on to, if nobody else has anything on the local speaker idea, we can wait till we hear from Andrea's office and then address that again, if that's okay with everyone. Okay, let's move on to marketing strategies. Gretchen, would you, or Kelsey, one of you, would you talk a little bit about what we've done in the past as far as marketing?
Sure. Let's see. So 2 years ago, Kathy and myself went around downtown to drop off posters. Last year, I like emailed, kind of widely emailed. I feel like maybe I forget if I dropped off some posters in addition to like getting people to email me. I think I did. I don't remember. We tried that Facebook event page. It went out on the listservs that we have. Capital Pride shared it on their Instagram. I think that's about it. Oh, we did a radio interview.
Oh, that's cool.
And also an article was written in something.
Okay, I didn't have the radio one written down. Was there, I know you and I kind of talked about, you felt it was more successful handing out the posters. So I think if the committee is okay with that, I'd like to move forward with us handing them out versus making that phone call or email. Is there any other marketing strategies that we think that we should look into?
I can provide an update about the Facebook event. It doesn't appear with the city's structure of a Facebook account that we can do an event without comments. But they did affirm and confirm that yes, if somebody else created an event, that we would share it.
Oh, okay.
So if anybody wants to do that and create something like that, that's okay and shareable.
Okay, so if we share it, we can turn the comments off. Is that correct or no?
Well, I don't know. I didn't get that far. I just learned it. But there's a theory that maybe it's about the type of account and others believe they can maybe turn it off. So I'm not sure.
Okay. I could probably try to create like a fake event and see if I can turn off comments and we could try it that way.
Sounds good.
Yeah, first.
And then I know that we had mentioned the newsletter in previous meetings, but maybe in other meetings, actually not this one. But we could add like a little blurb about the event in the city newsletter, and then also we could consider getting our own newsletter if that's something that the city is going to allow, TBD. And then we could also write up a blurb about like what Transgender Day of Remembrance is and some statistics to go along with why it's so important.
I love that. That's a great idea. Okay.
I have a,
Yeah,
I have a marketing suggestion. Have we ever tried marketing Transgender Day of Remembrance to the Salem Kaiser Public Schools? Like, I don't have a good connection there, but it might be
I do.
worth trying to get some sharing there. At least
Yeah.
bring some visibility to that.
Good idea.
To the
Last year that was
population.
done at the high school level, but we had a position that's no longer funded by the city that had a work in high schools and shared it through their contacts in the high school settings, but that's not available to us this year. We don't have that position this year, so.
Yeah, I can use my connections for that. I would love to do that. I would also like to see it marketed to Chemeketa as well. I think we did that previously, so I would like to
Yeah, I think-
continue that as well.
I think getting out to even the other, campuses, Western's got a campus here
Yeah.
in Willamette, if we can share that information too.
Oh yeah, I reached out to them. No one ever emailed me back, but I
It's
know.
starting to be a trend, Kelsey. I wanna know what
Do
you're saying.
people not like me?
Guys, not.
Yeah, we're gonna have to start proofing your emails before you send them out.
It's just gibberish.
I still haven't decided about you, Kelsey.
Yeah, I can tell.
Oh, Maddie, go ahead.
I was curious. I don't remember the call letters, but local radio, there was a progressive radio station that I was going to do an interview with when I was running my campaign, but that might be another avenue as well.
Awesome. We can look into that. Alrighty, so we can move on to logistic updates. Gretchen, I don't have anything on that. Do you have anything on that one?
I do have a couple.
Awesome.
Let's see. One is just to confirm that everybody knew that CC Media has confirmed they'll do their full production as they've done in years past, where they'll be there and be broadcasting. So FYI, and we do have the Laux Auditorium reserved, as we talked about. And then I was asked to check on if we can have the computer, which is available in front of the readers at the podium, could be synchronized to what is on the large screen that's visible to the audience.
Mhm.
And the answer is yes.
Oh, yay.
And
Okay.
I was shared how to do that. So yes,
That's
the answer to
awesome.
that is yes. And I think that could help with timing.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think those are my logistics updates. Although maybe one logistic would just be to clarify if there's anybody interested in designing the flyer this year and might want to start working on that, because we'll want to have time for you all to approve the flyer, and then I'll get copies printed for
Okay.
distribution. So it might be a clarifying question.
Okay. Does anyone, oh, go ahead, Alana.
I just wanted to ask if we were gonna have an ASL interpreter. Like, is that something that is standard with the city, or do we have to request that?
Thanks for asking that. It's standard with the city council's activities. They bring it standard at city council and at the city council specific events, but there hasn't been budget to provide it as standard at all things. And so it's pending receiving a request from a person who communicates through sign language to need that.
Okay, got it. Cool. Well, I guess that we can't do anything until someone requests it, so that's
We
fine.
could we put that on the flyers though, that if they.
Oh, yeah.
need any, okay.
There'll be standard language about, reasonable accommodations provided upon request, please give me a call. Yeah, and then I would act quickly if I get that request.
Okay.
Yeah.
We include a list of what is considered a reasonable accommodation. I do feel like some people talk themselves out of asking for accommodations because they don't think it's like appropriate or something. So like just saying like, for example, ASL, Spanish interpretation.
Oh, that's a good idea. Thank you. I think so. We have some language that's been coordinated with the city about how to phrase that, and I think that's a good idea. And I think we have a few examples of statements that might include that. And so I can go look for that and try to make that happen. I think that's a good point.
Yeah, if I might interject, the language that was included on the Homeless Services Town Hall flyer reads, "This is an open public meeting at an accessible location. Accommodations are available upon request for persons with disabilities. Services may be requested for sign language interpretation or languages other than English. For assistance, call, for relay, dial, and the respective numbers." So it does specifically mention for sign language and.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's a little more expansive than the standard one the city has, which has been on previous ones. Reasonable accommodation and accessibility services will be provided upon request. So Robert, I really like that one. I think we should steal it if we can.
I like that.
It's
too.
been updated, so I think Robert's got the newest.
Oh
'cause
my
the
gosh,
Town hall is
perfect.
done. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
That's perfect. As far as logistics, I have started working on the PowerPoint. I haven't started working on the flyer. Is there anyone who would be interested in working on the flyer?
I'd be down.
Yeah, awesome.
Could I, or where can I find previous flyers? / if there's information we absolutely have to include other than like daytime location.
I think I could put that together for you, Alana. Kelsey built a really terrific resource document, and then I can include the city's updated accessibility statement, for example. So I can get that over to you.
Perfect, thank you.
Great.
Thank you for volunteering for that, Alana. Okay, anything else on logistic updates? Okay, we'll move on to resource materials at the event. I had spoken to Kelsey about in previous years, we had resources there, correct?
Ish.
Ish, right?
We had like information about the committee at the like welcome table. But we were like thinking about like what else we could do, like community organizations that serve and like focus on LGBTQIA plus folks, like kind of instead of just like a resource fair, but like tables around that they can like walk and like grab things. Not like
Yes.
like personed tables, but yeah, passive ones.
Yes. How does everyone feel about that? I think it's a great idea to have resources available. It doesn't, to reiterate Kelsey's point, it doesn't need to come across like a fair, obviously. We don't want that. But to have resources available because it is a heavy topic and I think we should have something there.
Yeah, I'd say like 3 to 5 would be ideal.
Right.
And the groups that come to mind, just so we can start brainstorming, are HIV Alliance and Planned Parenthood. Because they also usually table at Capitol Pride events. So I know that it's something they have capacity for.
Right. Does anyone else have any brainstorming?
Yeah, I would suggest, even if it's just material, but Northwest Human Services runs the suicide helpline for the region. And so I think having some information on where to reach out to for help, given that it is a remembrance event. So, promoting suicide awareness and seeking help through those channels, I think is something we should, if we're gonna advertise or promote, we should promote that. And then also speaking with some of our other themes, I know the Lancaster Family Medical Center, which is ran by Yakima Valley Farm Workers. Their clinic on Lancaster does provide gender affirming care. And so, and I know we talked about medical, medical and healthcare as part of some of our other goals. So maybe seeing if they have just brochures or flyers that we could,
I like
maybe distribute at the event.
I think that
My
would be
two
great.
suggestions.
Great.
I have a suggestion actually. Could you guys reach out maybe to some of the Latino Latinx community and see if they have anyone who has any resources for their particular communities around the subject, because I feel like they should be included as well.
Okay. I can definitely do that. I have a really good resource for that as well, so.
We could also reach out to larger organizations who like Unite or like Latino Network, because they also like work a lot in this area and represent a larger population. But it would like they do a lot more than just transgender related things. So it might be too broad for the situation. We might want to focus on others, but just an idea.
Okay. Gretchen, can I get with you later to kind of draft something that we could send out to them?
Sure,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Perfect. All right, does anybody have anything else in regards to Transgender Day of Remembrance? Okay, we will go ahead and move on to step on Smarty goals. I know that didn't go out with the agenda, but I just wanted to hit on this real quick. We were talking about breaking down the Smarty goals even further so that we can identify the steps we need to take to make them successful. So Gretchen, is there any way you could send those goals out one more time to?
Certainly,
Perfect.
yeah.
So if you guys can look those over and kind of come up with ideas and steps that you think would make it successful, and we could brainstorm next time. Does that sound good to everybody? Okay. Alrighty, so moving on, welcoming spaces, Trevor Project survey question. Other ways to help identify. Gretchen, can you help me with this one?
You bet. This is an agenda item born out of the member remarks and announcement conversation at the last meeting. There was some discussion about the belonging survey and council noticing that comments in the belonging survey spoke about the library as an example of a place where folks felt that they could be themselves, and that led to a discussion about that you had in the member remarks section last time about how do we learn where those spaces are, and then there was discussion about promoting activities and events in public spaces to help build that sense of community and welcomingness. And then it was shared that the Trevor Project has a survey question that that helps get at that. And so I think that was the discussion. I think the idea was how do we learn and identify those? I might end with adding a possibility of an answer, which is the annual belonging survey might be a place to go into a crafting of question that you could suggest. The community engagement committee shepherds the work of the survey. And you could offer a suggestion to the community engagement committee, whose chair is sitting to my right now, to consider a question like that might be an idea, for example.
Okay. Go ahead, Alana.
Okay. Wild idea. I love the idea of including in the belonging survey. But what if we also, because I hate having to wait that long, especially when funding for the library is not a guarantee. And so what if we created our own survey and then asked local businesses to put it up as a QR code and just like put it on all of the events that we have and our website and everything? And it could even be like a 3 to 5 question survey of just like the key things we want to identify. So we have some data to go off of sooner than the belong-in survey would happen.
I like that idea, but Gretchen, is that something that we have to have approval for?
That's a good question. I don't think I think it's, again, as long as you're thinking in the scope of chapter 8 and 97 and how it helps to progress to your work, and I think we just have to think about it in that vein, but there's nothing wrong with gathering information, conducting surveys, et cetera. I guess it would just maybe depend. I'd have to see it to maybe know the answer to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd be happy to do like the data collection work that would go along with that. Because I know that that's like a somewhat large burden to put on someone else. So if
Okay.
it's something we can do, I'm happy to take that.
Maybe we could draft something, and then you could see if it would need approval.
Yeah, I think that would be helpful to me.
Okay.
If the group has time, or Alana, if you'd want to do that, or to kind of write out kind of what's the objective and what would be the questions, you know, in a draft form, and then yeah, I could take a look, see how the city would feel about it, see how you all would feel about it, if that sounds okay.
Alana, I would be
I
happy
would
to
have
help you with that too. So if you want to work together.
Yeah, perfect. I'd be able to get that by the next meeting if you're also okay with that timeline.
That sounds great.
Cool.
Great. Okay. Anything else on that topic?
Logistics question. So since Kara and I are going to be working on this together, are we able to communicate with each other via email?
I love the question. Thank you so much for asking. Yes, what you wouldn't want to do is add a third person, because quorum for this committee equals 3. But you can have some communication. But then your second warning would be, you wouldn't want to cause a serial meeting. Like I'd hate to see you have some information, but then call Robert and find out what would you think, and then call Kelsey and find out what would you think, because that starts to become a serial meeting. So you don't want to do that either. But
Okay,
the two of you
no
can
loophole.
connect.
I was never called.
You weren't even.
I wasn't even called.
Yeah, you could leave him out, for example, and then he would feel left out,
You know
because
what?
it's supposed to be a public process.
I wouldn't even pick up.
Okay. That's bad.
Well, they got a voicemail.
Yeah. No, Kira's calling me. Voicemail.
Not today.
New phone, who dis?
Oh my god, that was great. Okay, so we can move on to pride tabling opportunity. As a reminder, we do have that opportunity, and I'm sure Kelsey would love if people would volunteer, so she's not working the entire thing herself. Kelsey, I know that I will have a couple hours in there too. I just have to work logistics with my sibling.
Totally,
So watching our-
totally. It's just gonna be me, Alana, and their sibling. No, their partner. Oh, phew. So like, you said sibling, Kira, and I got
I messed
confused.
everything up. I'm sorry.
Gosh, it's all your fault.
My sibling, your partner.
Me by myself. So yes, Kira, you got that email from
I
me.
did.
Capital Pride is like rocking it this
It's
year.
huge
They
this
like
year.
they sent out an email with like so many logistics, like traffic flow and like how they're going to load people in to prevent like traffic jams and like accessibility, and like it's 10 out of 10. So there's a bunch of information. So once we get like people who are tabling, Kira gonna flood you with more info.
That's totally fine. I think our booth is actually very close to this booth, which I was very excited about, so I can go back and forth.
Oh, the charity.
No, the Chariots is not
Oh.
tabling this go round, but my sibling and I have a business.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
so we did last year and I loved it. It was fun.
great.
Yeah.
So would you remind me, Kels, what day and time it is?
It's the
Yeah.
21st.
It's coming up.
21st. Yes, September 21st.
Yeah. What time?
Setup is at 9. The event starts at 10 and goes until 4, 6.
I think it's 4, Kelsey. I can look it up real quick.
I also think it's 4.
Saturday, 9 or 4.
Yeah. Oh, wait, no, I have 6 p.m. I don't think that's right.
I'll come.
I can double check that time and Gretchen will send it to you.
Oh,
You can pass it.
Yep,
Okay.
we have a Google spreadsheet that folks can go in and sign up, and I can update that, and if you like, just resend to the whole commission too. That
Okay, event begins at 11, ends at 6.
Okay. It's a little later than last year.
Notice.
It's exciting. Very excited about that. Okay. Member remarks and announcements. Does anyone have any remarks or announcements?
Congratulations, it's your first meeting of
Thank you.
chair and full, right?
I'm trying to give you a lot of time back here, I guess.
Yeah.
Anybody else? I really am gonna give you guys a lot of time back there.
That's totally fine.
Okay, well, if no one has anything else, you have 28 minutes back in your day. We'll adjourn. Thank you, guys.
Great job, everyone.
Thank you all, good to see you.
Is the other meeting gonna move up, or are we gonna wait until 7 still?
We'll wait till 7, because we don't have all our members here.
Sounds good. I'll see you guys at 7.
All right.
Bye.